Welcome to this video tutorial. In this video, we'll cover the SIP authentication flow in Sippy. This flow is applicable to the SIP invite request of any incoming call. However, we will focus on how it applies to DID numbers, as these aspects are crucial for properly configuring various DID scenarios. There are three core authentication stages in the Sippy soft switch: remote authentication type rule in DID pool, account authentication rules, and digest authentication. We'll also see how the call is routed to different entities depending on the stage it passes authentication, as it is essential for further routing. We've prepared a diagram illustrating this three-stage authentication logic. Let's go through it step by step. When a SIP invite arrives at the Sippy soft switch from a remote entity, including a DID provider, peer carrier, PBX, or user agent, it will go through three authentication stages. The first stage is a remote type authentication rule in the DID pool. Sippy searches for a match in the DID pool records by checking the remote authentication rules. It checks call parameters such as CLD, which is a mandatory attribute for authentication, and source IP and CLI, which are optional parameters. If a match is found, the call is authenticated and then routed to the entity assigned to that DID number or range, namely, an account, a customer, or an IVR. If no match is found, the system proceeds to the next stage, account authentication rules. If a match is found in the account's authentication rules, the call is authenticated. There are two options for further routing. The system first checks if a specific routing group was assigned directly to that matched authentication rule. If one is assigned, the call is forwarded to that authentication rule's routing group, otherwise, it's forwarded to the routing group assigned to the account itself. If no account authentication rule matches, the system proceeds to the final stage, digest authentication. Here, it challenges the caller to authenticate with a username and password. If digest authentication is successful, the call is authenticated and forwarded to the account's routing group. If digest authentication fails, the call is rejected. So, to recap this flow, a call from an unauthenticated remote source is checked against three main authentication stages in order. A successful authentication at any stage identifies a specific entity to forward the call further to, depending on the option selected in that particular stage. The call is then routed to this entity for further processing and routing. In the next video, we will discuss in detail the late recognition flow. We will focus on the parameter settings of on-net routing in the routing group required to trigger late recognition, as well as where the call can be routed after late recognition.